It's like the past life versions of you are sabotaging the current version of you. But why are they sabotaging the current version of you? Well, they're sabotaging it because all time streams coexist. You know, man has made up time. So we don't know which version of us is running now. The subconscious doesn't know that. So it thinks that it has to defend the current version of reality. And it thinks that the disease, the emotion that creates the disease, which is fear, stress, anxiety, it thinks that it's trying to protect you now from something that happened eons ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's really more complicated than I expected.
Yeah, it's not that it's complicated, okay? It's complex, but it requires us to have a shift in consciousness. So for example, I'm trying to think of a client situation. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what you're manifesting as an issue, a fear. Like, for example, say you have a huge fear of some irrational fear of water, say, for example. It might be because you drowned in a previous lifetime. But your mind is living your reality as if it's going to happen again. So you tell me what you're experiencing now, and then either through regression, so I regress you back into the past lives, or I have the ability to also tune into what are called the emotional Akashic records, which means that when you do enough inner journey work on yourself and you clear enough blockages, you should organically begin to remember your past lives. It's like taking everything you've been told and understanding that most of what you've been told is a lie. You know, most of what we've been told is to keep a reality going that requires us buying certain foods. It's very materialistic. It requires us to remain ill, and we're constantly trying to battle away these illnesses instead of dropping into our emotional selves and trusting ourselves. It's like, even when I take people through regression into past lives, initially, even through television, you know, people would be very like, oh, do I trust my own experience? And yet that's your biggest truth. And yet you're believing films that you watch on television, and you're believing the news, although most people are waking up now to not believing the news so much. And they're starting to realize that your inner world is your truth, and you have had many time streams of reality. And the level that I'm working at now with people is to clear what's called all our past lives, clear your Akashic records out. And then we will start to speak light languages as well. We'll start to become multidimensional. All kinds of things are within potential, but the key to it is really through the past lives.
But can we stop a little bit at this point? Can you explain further what does it mean to clear your past lives?
Okay, so a lot of people, when they start doing past life regression, they go, oh, I'm never going to end. It's like it's going to be this endless past lives. What I try to do when I'm regressing you, or what I'm doing when I'm reading your Akashic records, is try to find the origin of the issue, the first time in your cell memory that emotional trauma happened. Yeah, so if you find the first time, the rest of the times are usually a repeated pattern. The story of the past lives will be different, but the underlying emotion and the story is just being repeated and repeated and repeated.
That's really what I knew already, what you're talking, but I believed it to be more superficial. I believed it to be like my life. Try to find the first memory when it happened in this life, and then
no, that's
but what you're saying is like more complex. It just gives, it's about the cell memory, where it is stored in your cell memory in your body.